We'll see how this goes. Bear with me for a second. All right, for anyone who doesn't know me, my name is Matt Andrizzi. I've been around for quite a while. Anyone who's heard me tell a story before, well, you'll know how this is going to go. For anyone who hasn't heard me tell a story, I apologize right now. It's going to be messy. I have a tendency to be long-winded and ramble. A little nervous, too. All right. So anyway, I want to really thank Sarah's parents, and Pete's parents. Basically for raising two of the friendliest, most responsible, respectable people I've ever met. All right. I also want to thank all the great friends Let's step back. Let's try this. All right, I want to thank all the friends and family for coming out. Everybody has been wonderful. There's a lot of new faces that I haven't seen before, and really everybody's been extremely friendly. Everybody's getting along really well, which is it's hard to do, especially just between friends. All right, so I thank the friends. I thank the family. There's one group of people here that really don't fit into the friend or family section, and that's the Picatinny people. So, so the Pete's coworkers, thanks for coming out. I really hope you're enjoying your per diem for being here. Everybody except for Tux, raise your hand, Tux. Raise it up high. There it is. You don't get per diem. I apologize. You also don't get to take that smoking sweet motorcycle course. But I will be. Anyway, trust me, everybody. I love my TDY too. So basically, Pete, this is to you. We've known each other for an extremely long time. I remember, I've been around so long, I remember when Sarah and Amy were still in diapers. I'm pretty sure you're not wearing diapers now, so it's been a while. It's been a little over 20 years. Anyway, I have a terrible memory, so for me remembering that's just a feat in itself. Growing up, me and Pete were always together. As Pete said in his best man speech, one fateful day in preschool, he came up to me and asked if I would be his friend. And apparently I laughed in his face. So I just want to tell you the part of the story he didn't say. When Pete was a young lad, he had a large head. Pete, God love him, thank God, he grew into his head, and he's a handsome devil. Look at him, he's gorgeous. So, if my opinion actually matters, he is a good-looking guy. So basically, you pair that up with, the big head and the tube socks, and can you really blame me for laughing? No. So anyway, it started. Pete and I would be inseparable for the next 20 years or so, and it has been 20 years. And I really hope that once me and Pete are 80 years old, Kristen and Sarah have us sitting on a front porch, yelling at neighborhood kids as they ride their bikes by. Pretty sure that'll happen too. I apologize, I'm not going as fast as I should be. Back to the story. We've been through a lot over the years. There was the infamous treehouse, or death shack. Although it was in a tree, so technically, even though it's a death shack, it's a treehouse. That really started a lot of the projects that we never finished, including my Chevelle, Pete's Tiki Bar. Next page. Then we finally got old enough to drive, and Pete got this little thing called a Tangerine Dream. Does anybody remember that car? Smoking sweet car. Sort of. I drove it for a month. That basically started Pete's obsession for the IROC and made him buy numerous in the future. And then there was the Toyota Tonka truck, poor decision. But it was a really good time. But then came the black Jeep. I think we all remember that. I lit it on fire. Anyone? Basically, had the black Jeep, started snowing. We were trying to think, what are we going to do? We don't have school. We were still in high school. So we decided to go to Travis's house. Travis, raise your hand. Where are you? There you are. And do some extreme sledding. There was no sleds involved, of course. Pete, I actually witnessed, and we have on videotape, Pete breaking the land speed record for snow-covered back road traveling. And I was being towed behind on my chest, wearing a Carhartt jacket. That really had to be one of the best times of my life. But most of my best times were growing up with Pete. Pete and I, we worked a few jobs together. A garbage man at Waterloo Village. That led to racing golf carts. Russo's Restaurant. There we learned that cooking wine tastes like hot garbage. There was All Paw Construction, where I actually witnessed Snedeker sitting 30 feet, I was up there with him, but I wasn't the one cutting, 30 feet above a parking lot. It was 110 degrees out. There's 2x4s all over the ground with nails in them, and Pete's using a chainsaw to cut these 2x4s off, and he's cutting the one that he's standing on. That was interesting. So anyway, Pete started working at Picatinny. I was working as a guard. A couple months later, I moved inside. Surprise, surprise, I'm like 3 seats from him. He moves to a different building, I moved to a different building, and here we are. So anyway, I've spent a lot of time tonight talking about Pete and my poor decisions in life. Smart ones really aren't that funny. So, anyway, Pete has made good decisions over the years. But I think there's one that's the single best decision that he has ever made, and I'm pretty sure everyone here knows what that decision is. That decision is that fateful day when he asked a very important question. When he asked me to be his friend. I think that's evident. No, seriously. I think the most important day was when you guys started dating. Not when you got engaged, when you started dating. Because if obviously you didn't start dating, you wouldn't have gotten engaged. Anyway, this is the rambling I was talking about. Bear with me. I lost my spot.